this is my review of One Punch Man. Okay, so there was a little bit of plot development here, but for the most part it was just about how Garo was just kind of just beating up heroes for the sake of beating up heroes. So, after finally getting fed up with Chiranko being unable to master any martial arts whatsoever, Bang finally throws him out of his dojo, though he does have ulterior motives as to why, as he has been tasked to actually hunt down Garo, as we saw in the last episode, and is a little on edge, and hence why he threw Chiranko out of his dojo. And also, he recruits his older brother, Bomb, who is... They have the same face, but they look radically different. And that the two go out to try and find Garo before he does any more damage. Meanwhile, Chiranko has a talk with Saitama and his friends, who tell him exactly why Chiranko was thrown out in the first place, and Chiranko, realizing that Bang and Bomb aren't going to stop until they find Garo, goes out to find him himself, but unfortunately finds Garo in the midst of a hero beatdown, who confronts Moomin Rider on the street and is prepared to fight him, but, well, the tank top team, who had one of their own beaten up in the previous episode, come out for revenge, led by Tank Top Master, who puts up a decent fight until Garo uses Fist of Flowing Water Crushed Rock to kick his ass, and defeats every single person there. While everybody else there is trying to contemplate whether or not they should kill him, considering that he's human, but he's also calling himself a human monster, and it's kind of a gray area there. So Tank Top Master is kind of contemplating it until he gets beaten up. Then all the other guys get beaten up, and finally Moomin Rider just gets his head smashed into the pavement. So Saitama goes to visit all of his friends in the hospital, where he finds out that not only is Garo using martial arts techniques to take down people, but he also finds out that Chiranko was registered for a martial arts tournament, but unfortunately he is no longer able to attend because he's injured. So Saitama decides to go in his place and goes out to buy a wig so he can disguise himself as Chiranko, which is a major plot point, and I'll get to that in a bit. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Garo has been using the Hero's Almanac to figure out what a hero's strengths and weaknesses are, and has been using that to hunt heroes. So he's been using that, and he also develops a bit of an odd relationship with the kid who owns the Almanac, who I'm assuming will become a major character, but we haven't gotten a name, so I'm just gonna say he's a kid with a unibrow. But anyway, he goes out to hunt some more heroes and fights with a drunk Golden Ball who was waiting for Spring Mustachio to show up. And despite being drunk, Golden Ball does put up quite a fight and does indeed manage to injure his leg, but unfortunately isn't able to land a finishing blow because he runs out of ammo until Spring Mustachio runs in. And we've seen both these guys before. We know they're dynamic, and this episode was mainly just to set up that, yes, they do indeed hang out outside of working hours and are indeed best buds. So Spring Mustachio comes to the rescue of his best friend, but gets his ass handed to him when Garo sees through his finishing move and lets himself get his hand impaled on purpose so he can close in and deliver a finishing blow, while also disarming Spring Mustachio in the process. And then states to Golden Ball that until a hero actually takes him down, he'll be as cocky as he wants to be. So he's definitely got an air of arrogance, and he knows that he's probably not going to be beaten anytime soon, although that comes back to bite him in the ass a little bit later. It's because while in the shopping district, and after beating up a Hero Association executive who has been brown-nosing two women, he runs into Saitama, who is wig shopping, and tries to fight him and loses. And the last we see of Garo is him passing out as he sees Saitama buy a wig, which he immediately returns home with, and Genos kind of gets the whole reason why he bought the wig a little bit confused, and arranges for a I don't know, a transplant of some sort to give Saitama his hair back while also making it a reinforced fiber so he actually has, I don't know, so that his hair doesn't fall out again. Although Saitama clears up the misunderstanding and tells him that it's not for so that he's going to wear a wig the rest of his life and is indeed wearing the wig so that he can sneak into the tournament as Taranko. Which I can only assume is going to bite him in the ass because, well, somebody at one point or another is going to realize he's not Taranko and also that he's wearing a wig. So I think somebody along the lines of that are going to eventually figure out that he isn't exactly who he says he is. But it's going to be interesting because it does set up the next arc of the series, which is the Super Fight arc, which I'm excited for because it's going to be interesting as it's mainly to introduce the world of martial arts and Saitama trying to pick up the martial arts so we can actually learn how to fight with technique rather than just brute strength like he's been doing. And it shows a growth in Saitama's character. He wants to get better, but he doesn't really know how to go about it. So his first major lead is to go to a martial arts tournament and train there. So we do definitely see a bit of growth in Saitama's character. He wants to become a better hero, and what better way to do that than to actually learn some martial arts techniques. So yeah, and we also learn a bit more about Garo. He takes sympathy with the kid who isn't exactly, well, he wants to be a hero too, but unlike Garo, who's doing it the wrong way by trying to become a monster instead of becoming a hero and doing it the quicker way, I guess, by crushing other heroes, the kid realizes that he's never going to be good enough because he's not very athletic. And that results in the two having a bit of a kindred spirit. But yeah, it was interesting to see the sympathetic side to Garo and also see a side of Saitama that we haven't seen, a side that wants to learn how to be a better fighter and actually learn how to do some actual hand-to-hand combat instead of just winning everything with a single punch. I guess he'll still win with a single whatever blow, but I think the thing is he wants to try and mix it up a little bit, and instead of defeating everybody with one punch, he wants to defeat them with one neck chop or one roundhouse kick or something like that. So that's going to be interesting. And I have no idea where the series is going to go from here because I know about the Super Fight arc, and I know it's going to eventually lead into a fight with the Monster Association, which down the line, because the Monster Association is going to be another major plot point, and we are going to see them in future episodes because we know that the monsters have been coming from somewhere, but we don't know why, and I think that's what's going to be explaining that. So, yeah, if you guys have seen this episode of One Punch Man, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below, and check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. Each tier has a bunch of different perks, and they all help me out, so be sure to check that out as well, and maybe consider supporting me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!
Okay, you can get through this like that.